Lisa from Life in Layouts. Thanks for joining me for another process video. Today I have the monthly celebration for the month of April. I am using this free sketch by Scrapbook Generations, and I actually end up flipping it around to make it work for what I wanted to do. I'm using this spring collection from Echo Park, which is several years old, and I picked it up from Tuesday morning, and I believe they still have tons left. So I am doing photos of a trip to Green Meadows Farm, and this farm was a local farm here that had a petting zoo, and it was a gorgeous farm. Unfortunately, it has gone out of business there. The owners unfortunately passed away, and then the children did not want to keep up the farm, so they have did shut down. But we had lots and lots of fun memories at this local petting zoo, and we would always go in the springtime, usually in March or April. This actually was on March 30th that we went, but usually in that month, because they would have brand new baby chickens and baby bunnies and baby ducks that we could pet and hold. And so we always made sure that we went in the springtime, late March, early April. So that's why I thought this would be a perfect layout to use for our monthly celebration in April. I did the warehouse box sale for Echo Park, and I got these 8x8 and 12x12 paper pads in the dots and stripes, I think is what it's called. And I love those because Echo Park does a lot of similar colors across their layouts. And so I didn't feel like I had another sheet of paper that I wanted to use. I just wasn't feeling any of the papers. I felt like they were too busy. So I pulled out this blue polka dot, and it worked perfectly, same colors. But then when I got everything down, I loved this word paper, but I realized there was just too much blue on it. So I went ahead and used the flower paper. But what I'm struggling with here now is I wanted the paper to line up across the two layouts. However, if I did it like I had it just then, it looked like the flowers were upside down. And they are whimsical flowers, and they're kind of all over the place. So it totally could have worked, but it didn't look right for me. So I thought, well, I'll just flip the layout and have the photos set up the way they are in the sketch, just flip them around. But when I went and put the photos down on that flower paper, because it's so busy, felt like the photos got lost. So there are really small, the black dots in the flower paper. So I wanted to mat my photos on black cardstock to bring that out, because I thought the white would get lost as well. But then when I put the photos on the black cardstock, it got lost. So I just did a double mat. I put the photos on the white because that's what I really wanted, that white against the photos, but I really wanted the black against that busy pattern paper, and so it worked beautifully. So I'm going to distress all of my edges with this blue distress ink. And then once I adhere everything down, you will notice that I did go ahead and cut down that, because that blue polka dotted paper was an 8x8 paper pad, and so I have an I think that's a 2-inch strip, 8x2 inch, and then a 4x2 inch. So I went ahead and cut that down, and I'm going to cover up that seam with one of the photos, so you're not even going to know that it's not a continuous strip of paper there. So here I go to lay out the photos like they are in the sketch, but then I realized that I didn't like the way that looked. It looked like we were looking off the layout, and I just didn't like it. So I'm sitting here contemplating it, thinking, what should I do? And finally, I decide, you know what? I'm just gonna switch it back. So I end up switching the back of the paper for the sketch, but I leave the photos the way they are. And you'll also notice in that sketch, it calls for a lot smaller photos. I think the sketch calls for 2x2 photos, and I didn't print these photos to go with the sketch. I had these photos printed a while ago. And actually, I love this size photo. I print 2 to a 5x7. So it makes it like a 3.5x5. And I love that size because I feel like it's not, 3x4s are sometimes kind of small. So it's not that small, but it's not a true 4x6. So I feel like I have more space without having to cut down any of the photo, to span across the page. So think about it in regards to the 2 photos that are on the left there with my nephew and myself, and then my sister and my nephew. If those were true 4x6s, it would have covered that whole strip of paper. So you could see I have some white space, they use that term loosely, with that green cardstock on the far end. So it gives your eye a place to rest. But I feel like I didn't cut anything out of those photos. So then I went through the ephemera packs, and again, I picked this up at Tuesday Morning, and I'm going to use Finally Spring Has Sprung. Take the time to breathe it all in, because that is definitely true for us. When spring comes around and we know it, we are out there in the fresh air at this petting zoo, taking in all of the beauty of spring. So I added the pink little banner over there that says Family Fun. And then there was a little bit of trapped white space. So I ended up cutting up a frame in the blue stripe there, and then an orange tag and a white label sticker as well. And then I've had these butterflies. I think I got them at like the dollar spot, which is no longer the dollar spot, at Michael's. And I love these little butterflies that are in here with the gray chevron. I thought those were so pretty. So I went ahead and glued the center down, and then I pop dotted the top wings so it gives it a little bit of movement, and then the bottom wings lay flat to the layout, so it looks like it's like he's fluttering and flying on the page there. And then I also got these enamel dots, or really enamel shapes, because there's hearts and circles, at Tuesday Morning as well. It's a Project Life enamel shapes, and they are really big. Like the circles are just a huge size compared to what the enamel dots look like. But I really like the way that they turned out, and the way they look on the layout. It gives it a different feel. So I went through my book that I have got my idea from Janet at RTS Scrapbooking, and pulled out a couple of other pieces. That's where the butterflies came from, and that frame. And actually, no, I'm sorry. The frame came from the sticker sheet, but the word "The Good Life" there at the top, the butterflies, and then all of these small word stickers that I end up using, which is "Good Times," "Oh, what a beautiful day," and "Love it." So I used the frame from the sticker sheet, and then I put this hot air balloon, and I put it down. It's a sticker, so I put it down, but I put a little bit of foam adhesive on just one side of it, and you can tell in the close-ups it gives it just a different dimension, and it looks like the balloon is floating. So I'm adding these other enamel shapes that I got. They're enamel dots, I guess, but they have what looks like a jewel shape on it. So they're white, and they have a black outline jewel shape on it. So I really like those. But the sticky was definitely gone on them, so I had to put some liquid adhesive behind there. And then this is where I'm adding the "Oh, what a beautiful day." And I end up adding it just directly to the picture itself. It's just dead space down there where the cage was, and then for the picture on the left and then the picture on the right, there's just the wood cage where the bunny is. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get this flower in, but it just doesn't make it. So I end up taking that out. And then I had the 2 butterflies, but I felt like I needed one more. So I pulled out my book again, and I added another gray butterfly next to the hot air balloon on the far right-hand side, and did the same thing with gluing it in the center and then using the pop dots on the top wings of it. So I'm using this Project Life card to do my journaling, and all my journaling says is Green Meadows Farm was one of our favorite places to visit. We loved all the animals we could feed, and the baby chicks, bunnies, and Oh, I wrote chickens twice. I said the baby chickens, bunnies, and chicks were our favorites. So I may have to correct that. And then I went ahead and added the date of 3/30/13. So these are actually a little bit older photos. So that is it for me. Here is my close-ups and the full layout. Make sure that you check out all of the other ladies and their April monthly celebration. Their layouts are gorgeous. I know that they've done an amazing job on them as well. So I will link all of the other ladies that we are doing this hop with down below so you can check them out. If you like this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layouts, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and have a scrappy day.